Hello everyone, welcome to the Oceania Flashlight 4K tournament finals map pool showcase. So this will be the second last map pool because I believe we will have a grand finals map pool after this. But I'm here with Surf Chu.
Hello.
Yeah, so we will go through some of these maps now and what to expect. Like, the difficulty for this is around, for most of the maps, I think they're either around, like, I'll say soft 4 quarterfinals if you were playing in soft, or even I would say stage 4 of this tournament, that kind of level. So if you remember, stage 4 was kind of on the hard side. So I think most of the maps are kind of like around that level of difficulty, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of super tricky at this point to actually nail the difficulty because the players are just super stacked, and then you also have to consider that you do not want to overshoot.
Yeah, well, it ended up being like, I guess, I don't know, hard. I'm trying to judge how well people are gonna end up playing this with Flashlight, but I think this should be fine for the players that are remaining because they're all really, really damn good. So,
Man, I cannot wait to talk about the brackets after all the charts have been run through, just because of how ridiculous things are going on.
yeah, so anyway, we'll get started with the first map now. And the first map is going to be, starting off with a fairly normal one. It's going to be Tinnitus. So this is going to be a rice map. And we can start. Yep. So this is if you're familiar with the song or the map or anything like that, this is going to be like kind of like Handstream, and it is 208 BPM as well. So about the same BPM as what's it called? I forgot the name. Hydra.
This looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So
yeah, it is straightforward.
Yeah, sorry, I just had something in the background then. But yeah, although I say it's the same BPM as Hydra, this is definitely more dense. So it is a little bit more draining and definitely harder than Hydra is in that kind of regard. So this will end up being the stamina pick, despite being about the same length as Hydra as well.
We actually have a fairly short map pool in terms, especially for this round. Like the entire map pool will run for 39 minutes, including a tiebreaker.
Yeah, so basically every map is like 2 minutes long. This is 3 minutes here, so this would be one of the longer ones. But we do have finals being best of 13, so it's going to be first to 7 now. So the matches overall are going to end up longer. But as we can see, the first half of this is pretty straightforward, like mostly just jump stream. But it's really the second half where we start getting into the hand stream patterns.
Hand streams in this BPM are fun, but just super brutal.
Yeah, there's not much break. Like, we saw a little bit of a break halfway through the map, but for the rest of the map, there's not really much break going on. So it really does become pretty stamina intensive.
Oh, here we go. Those one-hand trills.
Yeah, one-hand trills, which are kind of inevitable with hand stream, right, at some point. But yeah, definitely really kind of tricky to play, especially at this point when your stamina is kind of dying a little bit.
Oh man, those split thrills are not going to be fun.
Yeah, at the very end of the map, just to like kill you, right?
The split jump drills are not going to be fun. I think we'll be seeing a few chokes right there.
Yeah, definitely easy to choke. Definitely massively easy to choke.
Also, if you guys noticed, all of the charts are played by Arcat.
Except for some.
Yeah, but they're definitely played by Arcat.
Yep,
Definitely.
definitely Arcat. As you can see, I'm Arcat is the name, very clearly. So we'll get on to the next map now. And next map is going to be an LN map.
It's Kurokami Midarashi Shirato Narite, a chart by Serenade, and similar to the previous pick, this is the more straightforward long note chart in the Mappool.
Although this is quite dense. It ends up being actually quite difficult to act even if you're able to combo.
Yeah.
So it is more of the kind of like density kind of stream pick.
Though it's just pretty straightforward, so to speak. Just the density is something you have to take note.
Yeah, as we can see, it does become like kind of inverse, like kind of half-ish inverse at some points. And that might actually trip up a lot of... I feel like a lot of people are going to start choking a little bit with the kind of reading with flashlight on these kind of LNs. But overall, I would say it's not too hard to combo, actually. Like, the combo in this is pretty fine if you're able to read like the kind of inversey patterns just fine.
I mean, I'd be more concerned with the one-hand drills, as always.
Yeah, although the BPM is not very high, as you can probably hear, so it's not it's not like massively physically intensive or anything like that. It's not like one of those speed LN maps that, you know, LN ends up being in the later stages of some tournaments. But towards the end we do see this big density spike. So again, a little bit of choke potential towards the end there, but nothing too like dramatic, I feel like.
Oh man. Well, now I guess we can move on to our next pick, which is our first hybrid pick of the showcase.
No,
oh wait, it isn't?
This is not. This is 6S
Oh wait, it's
strings.
the rice one. It's a rice one. Okay,
yeah,
there we
this
go.
is the tech. So obviously flashbulb. You always think tech when you think flashbulb, and this is going to be like the real tech map of the pool, and kind of hard. But at the same time, this is also the rice map that I get the highest score on somehow, or the highest accuracy, right?
How do you compare this with Once A?
Once A is much easier to act than this, I would say. This is I would compare this almost to Naive Hopelessness. Not as like, you know, annoying to play as Naive Hopelessness, but it definitely has the same kind of mini jacks there. But also, unlike Naive Hopelessness, the rest of the map that is not mini jacks is also really hard. So we see these bursts coming in, like a lot of these bursts being
I just came in.
Yep, we got Ting here.
Hello.
As well. So we're here with the third map, Ting, and we're just looking at these tech patterns basically. As we can see, like it gets pretty intense, especially towards the end. Like, I think the second kind of third of the map, from that point on, it gets much harder with these bursts we can see coming up here. Yeah. And overall, I just think like it's very difficult to just play overall.
It has like those mini jacks in it.
Yeah, one of the least like I guess physically intensive maps. Out like if you're comparing it to like obviously the stamina map, but definitely requires more of that technicality aspect, which in turn brings a lot of chokeability in all of these like kind of mini jack burst patterns.
And I'm guessing this ending was like really slow.
Yeah, just a nice chill ending here.
So then what's the next map? Is it going to be an LN hybrid?
We like to think we have some form of control still.
Yeah, so this one is a hybrid actually. So we have Citadel, and I think some people are probably going to be familiar with this. It was picked. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with this. I don't know this map at all.
Yeah, so for those not familiar, this was used in 4-digit MWC 3, but I have nabbed it real quick because none of the players left in this tournament played in 4-digit MWC. In fact, none of them are even eligible to play in 4-digit MWC.
Well, I
Not
did,
4
but
digits,
in the
by the
second
way.
one, I did, but in the second one,
yeah.
I was like liminal Dan at that time.
Damn, 4-digit liminal. I mean, now you're well away from that 4-digit range.
4 digits, by the way.
4 digit, by the way.
But yeah, so this was this is I would say of the two hybrid picks, this is more LN focused. But still, I would say maybe a little bit less LN focused than we saw in something like Shera last pool.
It looks pretty brutal to act and to even hit.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to act overall. Some of these like speedier burst sections are quite a pain. They can be at least. And some of these LNs, the LNs are mostly pretty alright, like especially if you're me, who is like an LN player, they're not too much of a big deal. But towards the second half, it does kind of mix the rice with the LN a little bit, like we can see here.
Oh man,
With
those
some-
releases aren't fun.
Yeah, with some a little bit annoying releases there. So
I mean, it's not going to be as annoying as one of the long note picks later in the pool, but it's still annoying.
yeah, I would say this is the harder of the two hybrid picks, and definitely the more like technical. So in this pool, we're basically, I expect to see like a lot less of these 980k scores, a lot less FCs from like around the board, right? For basically every pick in every match.
Like, the whole field, as they remain, is super stacked, so I guess that prediction might not even happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is
I
true.
can at least like 900k most maps, almost
Unlike-
all maps.
Unlike
So-
me, like, I just barely.
And I'm pretty sure most people have been playing much better than me in this
Yeah.
tournament. So.
I think everyone has been playing better than us, even Artcat, who isn't even playing.
Maybe we'll see around like 950k averages or something.
Maybe,
I wonder.
maybe,
Be
but like
interesting to see.
the semifinals average performance was like 975.
Yeah, we had like a few people with over 980k average scores. Yeah, we'll see this next map anyway. I can't remember what the next map is going to be, but
Going to be
Oh, Floods.
Floods.
which is the dumpy speed pick of the Mappool, a chart by Serenade, which is very, very on the opposite side of the spectrum compared to the other Serenade pick from earlier.
yeah. So this is as the speed pick of the pool. It's not It's not like jump stream speed or anything like that. This is like dump speed. And
yeah.
these sections. This is the tame part. This is actually nice and easy. It probably looks harder than it is because of the scroll speed, but yeah, this start part is actually pretty fine, and I don't think many people are going to have much issue with that. Probably easier than Yozakura even. But what really the really intense part is actually during like the kind of chorus sections, which we'll see pretty soon. And here, the speed picks up a huge amount, and I think more than anything, this is just going to be really hard for people to read with flashlight.
BPM is the stream.
I think if depending on how you read, I guess some people might really struggle to read.
It looks like a 240, 250, or something like that.
It's faster than 250.
270?
Like these are like full on dub. I think it's
270.
I can't even remember. It's what were these snaps? It's a combination, I think, of 1/6, 1/8. Which, I mean, I guess that's like most dubs generally are. But with
like,
the BPM being 166, it would be fluctuating somewhere between
280. 280 means
240 and 300. Somewhere between. Like, you can't really put an exact number on it because the snaps are not really consistent. But somewhere within that kind of range, 240 to 800.
Yeah, I think it's around.
I'm assuming.
I think it's around 250 for me.
250, 270, around that, I think.
I'd say around 250.
Yeah, but that said, you do get plenty of break, as you can see. Like, the choruses don't last a huge amount of time. So there's plenty of time, like, outside of those areas to recover stamina, recover accuracy combo, all that kind of thing. So it very much is like, you know, who chokes these choruses more.
Like, I can't wait to see how the winners bracket finals would look like with these picks.
Yeah, we'll get to the bracket after this because there's a lot to talk about there. I guess, yeah, here we can just see the last kind of thing, and it kind of just repeats. There's no like massive, you know, change in difficulty throughout the map.
Yeah, that's the speed pick.
Oh man, the next pick is probably one of the bets for a 100% ban rate.
Okay, yeah.
Funny
okay, so
shuffle.
This is going to be 100% ban. Like, I apologize, but
what is this?
I am so surprised that I even got to 907. Oh wait, this is our captain.
Okay, so this is by far the easiest map in the pool to FC.
But hardest to score.
97 FC.
But it is the hardest map in the pool to score. So this is an LM map by Hydria.
I can probably tell. Is it 97% FC? I can probably tell.
Yeah, this is release timing, but like the timing for these releases is ridiculous. Like, these are just awfully mean.
I can definitely see this map being banned.
And not only that, the OD is like 9.
OD 9 and
It's so dumb.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so apologies in advance.
Definitely getting banned at least once.
Oh, more than once.
Far more than one.
I would not be surprised to have see this 100% ban rate. Honestly.
Oh yeah. This might get 100% ban rate.
But yeah, it is just an absolute nightmare to try and hack this. And like, especially on flashlight, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it even harder.
It's just absolutely mean with flashlight, but I mean, there's not really any place that's particularly hard to combo, so even with the OD, it's not very hard to combo or get a full combo here. It's just just about like how do you act these releases.
Yeah. My flashlight personal best on this chart is like 850,000 with a full combo.
It's always
It's stupid. It's stupid.
I'm probably gonna get like, I don't know, 840 with a full combo.
Yeah, we can see a classic 135 200 FC here
97%
from
FC.
definitely Arcat.
Definitely Arcat.
Definitely.
So yeah, we'll move on to the next one then. Hopefully something a bit more normal. Okay, so this is another rice one, another rice map we're seeing, which is going to be Bruna Synergy, and this is kind of a secondary tech map. If what we saw before in 6 Acid Strings was like tech, like the weird tech with the mini jacks and everything, this is rather than like bursts, this is more about kind of like a combination between tech and jack. So we can see like there are a fair amount of jacks, but there's also these like little trills and bursts linked in. Like that one hand drill on the right there was pretty mean. But overall, again, like just like with 6 Acid Strings, I actually find this not too hard compared to the rest of the pool. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm really bad at stamina at the moment. But this kind of feels in a way about the same difficulty as stage 4 for me personally. See a little bit of awkward snaps going on there, but it really is towards the end of the map that it really picks up in difficulty. Where we're going to see a lot of these like crazy, as we can see here, a lot of these crazy like jacks mixed in with all of these like
a bit of tornado here.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is like a deconstructed hand stream at this point.
Well, I don't know.
But definitely like a different kind of technical that we see from 6 Acid Strings.
It reminds me of Tornado.
Yeah, so I mean, surprisingly, this is only like 4.6 stars. So
Wait, this is only 4 stars?
yeah, 4.6.
What?
Mania star rating is
Mania
just
star rating.
super weird.
Mania star
Tech is always
rating.
underrated like that.
Mania star rating be like.
Also played by Arcat F.
Yeah,
Arcat F.
who could that be?
Who could that be?
Arcat F. I kind of wonder who that is.
Man, I actually would like whoever guesses who played which chart is going to get
I mean,
our applauses.
It's very easy to guess which ones I played because I mean, Flashlight. But
It's the easiest. It's not going to be easy to guess which charts I was playing.
let's move on to the next map then. Anyway, we are going. Oh, let's go.
Oh, here we go.
Routing.
Routing.
SV.
I know the map. Wait, no, not the map. I know the song, but I don't know the map.
Right. Okay, I just kind of spoiled what kind of map it was. Whoops. But yeah. Okay, this is the real Arcat, as you can see from the scroll rating. We're gonna need it up a little bit more. This is at 7. We need it like.
Yeah, Arcat plays SVs at scroll
like 20
5.
or something.
Arcat does a Lost Exceed during SV. FLSVs.
And Zytgrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be our first SV map that we see. It is the more memorization based of the two, but still, as usual, still a kind of focus on reading as well. We have some of these like teleport SVs, but really you do have to, like, knowing the song very well is kind of necessary to be able to score well on this. And this is like kind of the first SV map that we've seen so far in the tournament that I think is like legitimately quite hard to hack with Flashlight. So this is definitely the two SVs maps in this pool actually have a pretty nice what should I say, like dynamic between the two that I'll explain later when we get to the other one. But this is overall pretty good. There's no like there's no BS SV that makes it like, you know, stupid to play with flashlights, so it still is pretty much tame in that regard. But definitely quite, I would say personally, quite a big step up from something like Ruins. Because this is, I feel like this is quite difficult to hack.
It's not really like memorization like as well. Like,
well, there's a fair amount. It doesn't look like it, but a lot of the timings you don't actually get much visual on exactly when to tap or to hit the notes, right? And you kind of do need to like just know the song and know some of these. Like you'll understand if you play it, but there's some like 1/3 kind of snapped notes that you wouldn't really know unless you just know the song. But yeah, that will be our first SV pick. So the next map should be another Rise, I believe. Okay, yep. So this is Valedict.
played by
Pause.
I'm Arcat.
This is a Cause Disarray. And this is the shortest map in the pool. And it's kind of like a mixed Rise, I would say. Kind of dumpy, but has a little bit of a mix of what we see.
Okay.
And of course, there just has to be some holds. There just has to be.
And there's nothing like significant in terms of LN. Yeah, we can see these.
This is more brutal than the other speed chart.
This is yeah, this is definitely like quite dumpy. I would say this is probably not as easy to get lost in as the other speed one. But at the same time, like the speed part is a little bit denser with the chords, and it also lasts a bit longer than Floods does. That said, the map is also shorter.
Like any mistake in that stream is going to end. It's going to end the match, I would think.
Yeah, definitely like a really high risk pick, I would say. So it combines a little bit of jack, a little bit of density, a little bit of speed stream. But a really short map, as you see. It's like TV size.
I would think it's even shorter than TV size.
No,
I
no, it
think.
is TV size. It is TV size.
Oh, 129. Yeah, that's TV size. Okay. Okay. Now, next pick is going to be the third long note pick, if I'm not losing count.
Holy
Sambaland.
Sambaland.
A chart by E.T. Jin Jin.
And no LN quad stream, by the way.
Yeah, just be careful because there's an LN quad stream difficulty. Not that this chart is easy anyways without the LN quad stream, by the way.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get the wrong difficulty.
But yeah, this chart is super straightforward again, but unlike the other long note chart by Serenade, this is more intense on the density, plus there are just shields, lots of shields. Like take Follow Tomorrow from last week's Mappool and take it up a notch.
Yeah, I would say this is the most straightforward of the LN maps in terms of like accuracy. Like it's definitely the it definitely has like the least kind of tricky accuracy or tricky releases of all of them, but at the same time it's also just straight up physically the hardest LN map.
Yeah, that part you saw like 20 seconds ago, you have to be careful with that. And you have to be careful with this as well.
This section actually feels like a break, but then when it gets to the hands, it's really easy to just kind of do the wrong one.
Okay. No quad stream, by the way.
No, this isn't
Yeah.
quad stream.
Actually,
Wait,
it's like the Ellen Quad Stream version, the other difficulty, it has a more intense patterning on that section. Like it's literally
wait.
an inverted quad stream.
So it was literally inverted.
Yeah. It was II but inverted and slower.
Oh.
In some ways, like, the second half of this map kind of feels like Rice. Or at least I kind of play it as Rice.
Yeah, I think the difficulty in the final definitely ramped up. You can definitely
Yeah, this is quite this is definitely the hardest long node pick. I mean, aside from, I don't know. I mean,
Funny Shuffle.
Funny Shuffle might get the lowest scores, but I mean, physically, there'll be a lot of FCs.
Yeah, and this is played by definitely Arcat.
Definitely.
Definitely. And yeah, this is just super hard on the hands.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it looks more menacing than it actually plays, but then again, I'm an LN player, so it doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, it's actually quite fun. It's quite
I
fun
think,
to play.
I think both Surf Tissue and I, if we were not rusty, would be able to 98.5 plus. I think my best score is actually 98.9.
Yeah, like we just have similar
Yeah.
scores on this on
Yeah.
like peak form.
And of course, my score was with FL, so no excuses for the players.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next map then. And okay, so we're getting
Oh, okay.
So we had Pa, so now we have me.
Okay, I think I'm gonna
Okay.
go for this one.
So this is the Jack map, in case we haven't seen so far, and this is yeah, this is Artcat playing clearly, but this is quite a big BPM increase from Galaxy, slightly less dense at the same time. So I guess in the end it does come down to more speed than Galaxy did. So just double checking the BPM. BPM of this is 144, 144.5, while Galaxy ended up being somewhere around like the 120 range, I want to say. But yeah, this is definitely more in the speed jack. So somehow this is lower star rating than Galaxy. And actually, I find this map easier than Galaxy myself, and that's because I can't touch chord jacks at all. I just like finger jack this chart. But definitely some like really awkward jacks that we see here to do with like the kind of like 1-3 and 2-4 chords.
I also just noticed that this start is actually longer than Galaxy, so some stamina.
I mean, not that hard to be longer than Galaxy, to be fair. That was like 1 minute 20 seconds.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to come in around like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So definitely much longer. and also going to be much harder to be comfortable, right? I feel like a lot of people for Galaxy, because the BPM was so low, even though the density was high, it ended up being quite comfortable to play and not like choke or anything like that. But this definitely the same doesn't apply unless, I don't know, unless you're really, really comfortable at 145 BPM, which, I mean, that's a big ask. Yep, so that is going to be the Jack pick of this week. So we'll move on, as we're doing, just rotating between Jack and Hybrid LN. So this is going to be the other hybrid map of the pool.
Why does this chart feel so familiar? I think I
want to
remember
say
this being used somewhere. Yeah,
Big
soft. I think it was.
I want to say
Name.
sophomore.
I just remember this from like soft. I think. Yeah. Like when I saw this on the selection, it was just like, wait, why does this feel so familiar?
But this is more of the Rise focused hybrid. There's not like a huge amount of LN difficulty in there, just like kind of mixed in with the patterns as you see here. But definitely a lot of the difficulty coming through in the Rise for this. And I would say actually overall, I would say this is in contention for the easiest map in the pool.
Is it the easiest?
Potentially. It's hard for me to say. I was actually talking, like I think last week with Mifa,
Goodness.
that Mifa thought I was crazy for thinking that this map is harder than Carry Me Away by Arpia, which was in last pool. So apparently this is not really much of a, like, if anything, it's not much of a difficulty improvement from Carry Me Away. And I don't know how people managed to play Carry Me Away as well as they did. So this does end up being somewhere around that kind of difficulty, I guess. Slightly harder in my opinion. But the end section definitely something more of like a Rice bit. And of course at 220 BPM is not trivial.
This does not look easier than Carry Me Away.
Yeah, Carry Me Away I got 950. And this one I got 933, so a whole 17k easier.
This one I got like 980.
Yeah, so we'll see the next map. The last LN map of the pool, I believe.
Magic. A Halloween song, let's go.
This one is also lesser known as well. And it is also much easier than this replay is going to make it look, because I've been playing very bad. But this one is actually 230 BPM. But there's actually no, like, there's not really any streams in this at all, right? So it's not really streamy, it's more of a kind of like coordination type map to do with like the releases and the coordination between them.
Oh yeah.
So in my opinion, this is actually the easiest map to score on at least.
Yeah,
not the easiest to combo, definitely. But combined with like combo and accuracy, I feel like it's, you know, possible to get consistent enough that the accuracy can kind of just carry you through this. Like, it's not too hard to get 99% accuracy on this for me personally.
Now you all know what Time in Hell match looks like slowed down.
And yeah, this section here with the weird releases, it is quite hard to do them properly, but what I'm doing in this replay is actually just quad kind of cheesing them, and it works, and you get 300s for it. But you know, if you wanted to get that ratio, then you'll have to actually do those weird timings properly. So definitely towards the end, like this kind of section is where the map really really picks up, and we get more opportunities to miss in, more dense LNs, and then of course a little bit of an outro quip, which I was kind of ghost tapping and forgot about. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone forget about the ending.
yeah, it's easy to forget about the ending. I always do stuff like that, but yeah, this is definitely one of the easier maps in my opinion, at least. It all depends on how people end up with the reading aspect as well with Flashlight. Yeah, so that will be the last LN map. I think we don't actually have that many more maps left. Let me double check. So we should have 2 more maps and then the tiebreaker. So we'll move on to the next one now, which is going to be the last Rice map of the pool. And this is one that I think some people are going to be familiar with as well.
I'm guessing this is a stamina pick.
A little bit less, kind of does test stamina a little bit, but I would argue not as much as Tinnitus does. This is more of a jump stream, more of a pure stream pick, more straightforward, a little bit less stamina draining, but at the same time 230 BPM.
Like, the patterning of this chart reminds me of Hoshifuru from group stage, but like way faster.
Yeah, and like the patterning in this is actually not I don't want to say like unusual, but it's not like your generic jump stream. So much lighter than Tinnitus is, but at the same time it's like 22 BPM faster. And people will be familiar with this. I think some people definitely from Soft 4. I believe it was quarterfinals in Soft 4 as well. So we are kind of looking at that kind of level. And I do think, like, if you are pretty comfortable with 230 BPM, I think this really does come down to like an app kind of test. Of course, the Flashlight is going to mess with that a little bit.
There's like a few people that are probably going to be destroying this chart.
Yeah, I would expect some high scores to come out of this chart. Definitely. Compared to some of the other ones, it's less stamina draining, so you're not going to see as many, like, you know, massive tanks. If there's any drops, I feel like they'll be like quite clean overall. But for people that aren't comfortable with these, like, it is very two-hand trilly, as you see as well.
I love split drills. Like, there's a reason why Kamui is like one of my more favorite charts in the rank section. And it's just because, like, I love playing thrills.
Hell yeah, Kamui.
Wait. Ranked?
Yeah, Kamui.
No, this isn't ranked. This map isn't ranked. He's talking about
it just reminds me of the trill. Like the amount of trills you use.
Oh, I mean, it's not that much, right? Like, there's still a while before it becomes Kamui level.
Yeah, like
Kamui level is when you put, like,
long notes
all the notes
alongside the trill.
Yeah, so it's when you put, like, it's only a trill. There's nothing else, it's just a really, really long trill, and then you put some, like, nonsensical notes to the side sometimes. But yeah, so that was the last Rice map. So we've had the last LN map, we've had the last Rice map, there's only one thing left. And this is one that people know of.
Hands down my most favorite pick in the pool.
Let's go!
Dandan Hayakunaru.
Okay.
And this is from Soft 4 group stage.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you don't know of this map, it is 02 Snow, and it is slow jam. Slow jam and fast jam, actually. So the song basically starts really slow with slow jam, slowly gets faster and faster,
Okay.
then goes back to really slow,
It's
and then gets
basically
faster,
like-
faster again.
So it's basically like Vertex from MWC orders.
It is much more tame than Vertex.
Minefield surfing, I would say.
Like this is still not really that bad. Like in my opinion, this is still quite easy. But at the same time, I am willing to bet that people are not quite as comfortable as at flashlight slow jam as they are, you know, with regular slow jam.
So like the normal scroll speed,
Make
it
sure
becomes
you have
just
the right
faster
scroll
from here.
speed for this map.
Yeah, so this is still very, very doable. It's actually not that bad at all, but in the slow parts, your concentration has to be pretty on point because you don't get much time, like a time window to actually see the notes, right? The notes are going to leave your field of vision, and you are going to have to remember which notes they were for like even a couple seconds with how slow it gets. So your concentration has to be pretty on point, otherwise you forget which notes have already gone past. And also, given that the end of this part right here is actually fast jam, so it's actually faster than 1.0 speed. So if people actually do struggle with that, you might have to even turn your scroll speed down even lower, which means the slow jam gets even slower. So it's either you're going to be playing slow jam and fast jam, or you are going to be playing super slow jam.
Tiebreaker time.
Tiebreaker
Yeah,
time.
so that is going to be the last of the regular maps. So now we will see tiebreaker.
Yet another Camellia tiebreaker.
As you say, long version. I don't know the song or the map.
So this is a Mysterion chart, the long version of classic Camellia song. And of course, this coming in at like 5 minutes long, I think.
Oh my god, the copy pasta art cap. Well,
Okay.
like, if you thought the final sequence regular picture physical, how about this? We're going to be expecting at least this as a minimum for Grand Finals week. Like, the irregular snaps on this chart are like far nuttier than what Kirai would have offered during semifinals.
Man, that is hard to read that section though. Like,
That looks hard.
it is so hard to read.
It's just brutal at this point. I mean, shouldn't be a problem, I guess. The whole bracket is EP, so it shouldn't be a problem, I would say.
Actually, Cryolian, who was actually doing these replays, bit of a spoiler, who was doing some of these replays, was the one who played this particular replay, and he did think that this was not any harder than the Rice picks that is of this pool. So it's not really like a massive step up in terms of the rest of the pool, but still definitely challenging when you consider the flashlight reading aspect of those weird snaps and how long this is in general, right? and here we have even more of them. They are really evil. Like I can't. I like dying with this, honestly. Drop all the way down to 95% flat.
Man, I cannot hit this part anymore. I think even on no mod.
Those races,
She's
they
my
are
form.
so hard to hack. I haven't played the map yet, but like, of course, because, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the first time team has seen.
Yeah. If I ever do get eliminated in finals, I guess I can help with showcasing.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But this 5.5 minutes, I believe. So we're only like reaching just about the 2/3 mark right now.
Oh man, that transition looks delicious.
I wonder if we're gonna get any tiebreakers actually, because I think there's definitely some possible. I have a little bit of an inverse section. You know, in case there wasn't enough LN for you before.
Yeah.
Alright. I think the LM part coming through. Wait.
The Ellen part is the easiest part of this chart, I think. This is just brutal.
That's like
Yeah.
very surprising because like usually every tiebreaker I see, the LN would be like here.
Oh, yeah, like actually, yeah, that is kind of a pattern, isn't it? Like a lot of tiebreakers seem to put like LN sections towards the end, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know why that is. I mean, I guess it's
Climax?
yeah. I don't know.
like,
That's just
it-
how
what's
it
the
is.
hardest-
It fits.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What's the hardest part of the end of the chart?
There was actually one of the soft 4 tiebreakers for group stage. I think it was. It was like a Porter Robinson song, I think. Curiosity map. That was like the opposite. That was like all of the LN at the start. First half of the map was like all LN and SV, and the rest was like rice.
And oh, that ending.
Oh man, that ending
ending.
isn't fun.
But yeah,
And
that is going
yeah,
to be the tiebreaker of the map pool.
and that will be the finals map pool.
So that will be finals. I'm going to be interested to see in what kind of scores we're going to get, because we haven't really seen much of this difficulty, obviously, yet in the tournament. So
Yeah. Considering the
see.
difficulty of the map pool because of all the remaining players, except me, of course, that are so ET.
I feel like people have kind of
hopefully-
improved as well at like reading with flashlight throughout the tournament.
Yeah, that is true.
Because
actually.
if I compare some of the like I would say like the qualifier scores with some of the recent stage scores, it does kind of look like there's been some like improvement in comfortability overall, right? Like a bit more like AC improvement, a bit more consistency here and there.
Well, with that, I think it's time for us to show the brackets because
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have a quick look at this
Bracket
bracket. So we have Ledge and Andre MC in the winners finals after 2 like really close matches. We see they're 6-5 and 6-3, which is
Wow.
kind of insane.
If only I didn't get that 200 in the beginning of Galaxy.
Yeah, actually crazy. Like 2 maps coming in like within like 1 or 200
Yeah,
difference,
Galaxy
right?
was like
199.
101 and 199.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, so that would be Legend Andre MC then, guaranteed a top 3 spot.
In the
They're in
first
the winners'
and
finals.
last pick. What a close
Whereas
one.
in the bottom losers bracket, we have
Oh.
Team Momentum versus Last Exceed, and
Oh,
Stupid
man.
Man versus
Sacred.
versus Zycrid.
Rematch from group stage.
So this is yeah, no, I can't really predict any of these. Like, you really can't. How you supposed to predict these? Like, the 6 players that we're seeing here in this finals weekend are they are straight up like the 6 highest performing players in the tournament. Like, it is very hard to compare some of these scores because they've all been playing so well. There's not really that much advantage I can see, like, from one player to the next. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up coming on top through that losers bracket, especially because obviously 3 of those losers bracket players will be eliminated at the end of next weekend. So with that, we will be releasing schedules pretty soon, probably within the next hour or two. And yeah, until that, we'll see you guys next week.
Being